So, little update really in terms of our machines after our recent incidents when I hit a 25-pound turkey flying into the front of my bike, causing extensive cosmetic damage, and also Paul's accident. So let's start with Paul first then. So very pleased to say that Paul is 100% okay. He was riding his bike and he was out with some friends from a Ducati group, and Ducati riders group, and he came around a bend and there was some washout from the side of the road. It was kind of sandy silt with kind of gravelly marbles, and it was a bit camouflaged, and they couldn't avoid hitting it. He hit it, and the back of his bike stepped out, and then it gripped and kind of threw him the other way, and then it kind of gripped again and kind of high-sided him, and then it kind of the bike slid down the road before digging in, flicking onto the other side of the bike, causing damage to the other side, and then kind of cartwheeling on top of the bike, causing damage to the screen and TFT and the tank. And so there's damage to panniers and the engine protection bars and cylinder heads and the tank and the screen and whatnot. And the long and short is there's an extensive amount of damage, and at this point in time we're thinking that the bike is totaled. It's just waiting for a full confirmation from the kind of loss assessor or adjuster or whatever from the insurance side of things, but he kind of intimated to Paul that it's likely to be written off. So in terms of Paul's injuries, he had a cut above his knee, or across his knee rather, and also a cut to his calf, and had to have some stitches and a few bruises, but nothing broken, and feeling quite okay in himself and quite cheerful. In fact, we met him this morning for breakfast. Even though he's not riding, he wanted to come and meet us to have a catch up, and so he's fine, but looking like he's going to get a payout, and then we'll see what bike he buys next. It's not necessarily another GS Adventure, it's not necessarily a Multistrada which he had before. It could be a Triumph, or you know, a non-adventure bike. We'll just have to see what he decides and how he's feeling once he gets the situation sorted out, assuming that they don't rebuild the bike, which, as I say, is looking unlikely at this point in time because of the extensive damage. Now, getting back to me, if you saw my fatal accident video a few weeks ago, it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek title regarding the sad demise of the turkey, which basically exploded after flying across my path, and that ripped the beak and the front mudguard off my bike. It caused some damage to like radiator housing and ambient temperature. Sensor was hanging down, and a few other bits and bobs, and essentially a couple of grand's worth of damage, all seemingly cosmetic on face value. Well, the dealers rung me now to say they have the parts in, so let's have a quick look at the bike before. Quite dirty with lots of mud on it, as you can see, where I've done some gravel roads recently, and you can see the bits that clearly should be there but aren't. It's lost its pterodactyl nose, and it's just looking and feeling a little bit sorry for itself. Anyway, let's cut to the bike after they've worked on it. As you can see, it's now looking more like its old self. It's got a pointy nose and all the other plastics are in place, and essentially we're back in the game, and feeling pretty pleased about that. the bike has been riding perfectly fine whilst it's been damaged. You know, operationally it steers and brakes fine and hasn't been an issue, but it's nice to get it back on the road looking rather nice again. Now, for those that might be more interested in the road I'm riding rather than my ramblings, this is the Martin Creek Road, which is just kind of east of Murphy in North Georgia. As you can see, it's just beautiful. All these beautiful mountainous hillsides and little lakes and, you know, ponds and kind of farmyards and stuff. Very, very pretty, very pleasant, and as you can see, pretty devoid of traffic considering this is a busy part of the day on a Saturday. So get the chance to ride out this way, do it. It's very, very nice. Anyway, I just want to give you a quick update, let you know we're back in the game. Well, I'm back in the game in terms of having my R1250 GSA repaired, and Paul is going to be back in the game very soon, I'm sure, once the insurer makes a final decision, probably cuts the check, and I will keep you posted as to what he buys next. But he's still adamant he wants to ride and wants to continue riding, and we'll have to see what he buys next, and whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be a really nice bike, a lot of fun, and he'll be joining us on more adventures throughout the summer and fall. So thanks for dropping by. As always, I really appreciate you looking at my videos, sharing them, and providing your comments and feedback. And if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe, obviously. That way you can get to see the adventures I go on and the videos that I post, which are usually at least one video a week, primarily bike related, but sometimes car related as well. So take care, have a great week, see you soon. Oh, lastly but not least, ride often, ride carefully, ride on.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all your feedback and support for the Ride On channel. I hope you're already a Ride On subscriber, but if not, please subscribe straight away. And last but not least, ride often, ride carefully, ride on.